me?
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Did you take that picture behind you?
Yes.
Where is that?
Summer breeze open air.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Neat shot.
First of all, can I ask you, how is your name spelled? Hottinger or Hottinger or?
Hottinger.
Hottinger.
Pronounced it.
Okay, because it's a European name, but you spell it Hottinger.
You say Hottinger there. Yeah, that's funny. We this guy at a meet and greet a few years ago gave me a book of like my family history, which I had never seen before and didn't really know much about. And it's, you know, the first Hottinger that came over was from like Southwest Germany, like the Swiss border there. And I guess he was a revolutionary in the 1840s trying to overthrow the German government, and it didn't work out. So, and he had to get the hell out and ended up in Chicago, which is where my dad grew up, you know, 1950s, and met my mom in Wisconsin, just north of there. And yeah, so goes back to the Swiss border there, German Swiss border, and all those Hottingers.
Hottinger. Oh, yeah. So it's nearby at the place where I live, because I live in the north of Switzerland, near to the south of Germany.
Oh yeah, that's the area. And I didn't know any of that, but when we first started touring Germany, I was like, oh my God, like Bavarian, you know, like just pretzels and brats and dark beer. I was like, this is the best shit I've ever had in my life. And then I was like, well, it's in the blood.
Okay, that's the reason. Cool. So, okay. Thank you that you found the time for our little conversation this evening. I hope you did get over Corona well in terms of health.
Still haven't caught it.
Okay.
And you know, we've been playing shows and we're really safe in our touring camp because nobody is, you know, we want to keep playing and you have to be right now still, but I don't know how we've dodged it. We've played some clubs. I don't know, but
okay, it's good. And everything's all right. And in the last 2 years, how many shows could you even play?
We played our first show back last summer. We did a free show at a small club here in Nashville just to be back, you know, and kind of help support Nashville. And we got with a radio station, gave tickets away and just played, and kind of, it was like a warm up. We had 3 or 4 just one-off festival gigs throughout the summer. And then when that Delta variant started kicking up, we had booked this September tour, but we booked it. So we kind of developed our COVID protocols and did the tour and had no issues. And then we did the November, December run with Evanescence, and the COVID went through their camp in December. So we missed the last 5 shows, but we made up for them in January. And then we couldn't get to Europe in February. It was logistically impossible with the different rules, but we were able to do the UK run, and we got through that pretty scot-free. And we start again in 2 weeks here in the States.
Yes, I've seen it. Lots of concerts there in the States. Will you also come to Europe?
Yeah, we have a tour announcement next week on Tuesday, so we'll be back November, December.
Okay, good.
Very excited. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought maybe we'll see you at the one or the other festival, but I didn't see you now. So
next year.
Okay.
Next summer.
Next summer will be a good summer.
Oh, I cannot wait. Literally the most fun I've ever had on a tour was in 2019 when we did all the summer festivals around Europe and all those shows. Yeah. Like one of my favorite memories is waking up in Switzerland at Greenfield, like walking out of the bus and just being like, oh my God, it was so beautiful, and just playing there in between the mountains, and just outstanding.
It's a beautiful area there. Yeah. And a good festival.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, so first let's talk a little about you. If I would ask your best friend what makes Joe Hottinger special, what would be his answer?
They'd be like, he's very special. No, man, you know, there's only, I have like two things. I'm pretty simple. I just love guitars and cameras and photography. That's what I give a shit about and what I spend all my time doing. And that's pretty much it. I just want to play music and take pictures, and that's what I'm here for. And until that changes, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, cool. Cool. On May 6th, your new album will be released, Back from the Dead. And I've read about this album, from a statement from Lizzie, that she told it's born out of necessity. What exactly does that mean for you?
I mean, we had to make this record like this. You know, we all went through it in 2020 and 2021, and I don't think anybody got out a little unscathed. But you know, like 2020 was tough. The like lockdown happened, you know, and it's kind of exciting at first because you think it's going to last a few weeks, and like, oh, remember that one time we had to stay home for 2 weeks, and then, you know, then it started dragging on. And I remember talking to our booking agent that summer of 2020, and he was like, yeah, because our, you know, tours kept getting pushed back and shows kept getting postponed. And he was like, I would plan on not playing this year and maybe not next year either. And I was like, seriously? And he was like, no, seriously, I don't. And it kind of blew my mind. And it stuck with me. And Lizzie and I, you know, we lived together, and we spent the whole time, we were writing music the whole time and really hustling, trying to get what eventually became Back from the Dead together. But, you know, we got into autumn 2020, and it was tough. Like we were just questioning, like, why are we even doing music? What do we love about music? I don't know. You know, it seemed like everything we were working for didn't really, it had an end goal that I couldn't quite comprehend yet, you know? And we decided to just get into the studio in December 2020, and it was nice. We saw the boys again, you know, and we just started making a lot of those songs we wrote. We just started recording them and putting them together. And, you know, and we did that for a few months until we started spinning wheels on that. And Lizzie's like, I'm going to switch it up. And she went and wrote with our friend Scott that she wrote Miss the Misery with. And the first thing they did the first day they got together was Back from the Dead. And it like totally made sense. And we're like, oh my God, that like, and all these concepts and ideas that Lizzie and I had been talking about, and these thoughts about, you know, just living through life and trying to do the things we love to do, but not being able to, kind of just started pouring out of her. And it was great. And it was a necessity. She needed to say them, you know, and we needed to play this music. And so we did. And we're really proud of the record. We're excited for everyone to hear it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's kind of nice, this album. I really liked it. If the crowd goes to concert of Halestorm, this is Lizzie Hale and the band, just from this outside. What you were talking now is that maybe the process of writing songs isn't that way, that there is this front woman, creative, powerful, and the band. So I think the process of working songs is another one. How does that work in your band?
You know, we'll write it. It doesn't matter where the song, like, we just chase what excites us. That's the idea. And whether Lizzie writes a song, I write a song, we write a song, all four of us jam together. It's kind of been different every record. Like the Vince album, the last record, you know, that we kind of went into the studio with Nick Restolenitz, and the four of us plugged in, and we were like, who's got a riff? And we started there. And we sat there, the four of us, in this little room together, and hashed out 90% of the record, you know, and get these ideas, bring them home. You know, Lizzie and I discuss melodies or concepts, or she would just write something amazing over it. And I mean, without a doubt, Lizzie is the force of the band, you know, as she's the front person, as she should be, but she's writing those lyrics that she says, and the things she's saying, she believes, you know, it's her truth. And you know, when you see us play, we don't have any tracks and we don't have any click tracks. We just play, and it's an interpretation of recording our songs, you know, and we improvise a lot. We switch up the set every day, and I mean, we are a band through and through, and it's my favorite thing to do in the world is playing live shows, because it is the most present that I've ever been being on stage. You know, it's living, breathing music. It's fluid. You know, there's no past, there's no future. You're just in that exact moment. You know, especially when you're improvising in front of a few thousand people or tens of thousands, whatever, and you got the flow going. You know, and it's like that's the best feeling in the world. And you know, I couldn't do that. I don't think I could do that as well with other players. There's a language that only the four of us speak to each other up there. Like, we've been a band for 20 years now, you know, the four of us playing together. And, you know, if RJ rushes a fill, we all know how to follow it and land together. You know, it's just, we just know each other's ebbs and flows, and it's a beautiful thing.
Cool. There's, for me, there was an interesting detail, because there's one track called Raise Your Horns. If Metalhead hears this Raise Your Horns, he's expecting kind of a Viking metal song. And then you go, and it's not really a Viking metal song, it's ballad.
Yeah, it's all just
how does this match?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot, Lizzie and I. We were sitting here on the back porch, and we were discussing that title, you know, Raise Your Horns, and how do you make that a song? And like you said, just the title alone, you immediately think like Dio and metal and power metal or whatever, Viking metal. And my favorite part is that that's what you think, and then you hear it and it throws you for a loop. So you're like, wait, what? And then you listen in, and you know, it's a beautiful song, and the lyrics are really powerful, and it's taking, you know, taking the idea of raising your horns, and it's a triumph, you know, and it's, I don't know, I love it. I love the lyric. And the first time I heard it, I like cried a little. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, girl, you nailed it. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, it's really, really awesome. I found some of the thing kind of fun fact. I don't know, you know, I think you know Scorpions.
Yeah.
You know her new album, Rock Believer.
Yeah, the cover.
Yeah, the cover, because that's what I saw. So
I know, isn't that funny? Like we had,
it's really funny. But the funny question is, who copied from whom?
I think it's one of those beautiful coincidences. We had the cover for like set and ready for a few months, and when that Scorpions came out just like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's a coincidence, and that's all. Maybe we're, you know, it's the collective consciousness or something, but we kind of had this Breaking Glass idea and the Scream, and we had that concept since last fall, and we worked with a photographer in December in Ohio, Nick, and you know, we did a bunch of different things through the glass, and yeah, I don't know, I think that it's a genuine creation. There wasn't like, oh, look at that, let's do that, and like literally the opposite of our ethos. And probably one of our problems is we try to not do what's going on, but
okay, maybe if I do an interview with Scorpions, I'll ask the same thing.
Yes, ask them, let me know, because I doubt, I mean, our album cover wasn't out, I don't think we didn't release it till the beginning of February, the artwork for that second single, so there's no way they would have seen it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's really nice. It was interesting for me. Normally, if I ask musicians with new album if there are any favorite songs, everybody says, oh no, they're all the same, they're all important for me.
My children.
Do you have any favorite on this album? A song that you think, wow, this is
you know, if I had to pick a favorite, I'd pick Bombshell, just because I love playing it, and it came from such a genuine place. That was one of our pandemic songs in 2020. Lizzie and I put together the track, and she just nailed it with this vocal, you know, and came out swinging. And the way it sounds on the record is pretty much what we made in the basement, you know, and only like upped. I think it's I think it's the best sounding song on the record. Sonically, I don't know. You know, sometimes whether it's the humidity in the air, I don't know, things, you know, every time you record a song, things end up a little bit different, and it's just whatever, that one clicked sonically, things just kind of came together. And so I'll go with that one, but you know, I do love them all, and I look forward to playing them all live. But Bombshell is just fun guitar work and just a fun song.
Okay, cool. Then one question, you told that in your life there are two many important things. One is photographing, and the other thing is playing guitar. Who would you say did impress you the most from guitars around the world?
Oh man, there's so many folks that are inspiring to me right now. I mean, lately, like, do you know Jared James Nichols? He's a blues player. He lives here in Nashville now. He's such a shredder. Him, and there's so many, like, Nashville has a bunch of killer players right now, and there's a beautiful guitar community around here. Jared James Nichols, Tyler Bryant, and Marcus King is in town. The Ida May kids from Chris from Ida May, he was living in town for a while too, and it's just deadly on like a resonator and slide, and just awesome. And to me, it's you know, I come from more of like especially with my approach to leads and stuff, more of like a kind of a bluesy and rootsy kind of soul background. I like trying to make it sound, you know, I do that because I'm like bending, but like I like trying to make it sound a little bit more like a voice, you know, like a great singer, you know, and getting, you know, what did I hear last year? What came up? These kids, these damn kids, and they started calling them boomer bends on guitar. And I was like, oh, yeah. I feel attacked because I love a good blues solo. And you know, there's so many amazing. We got to know Tosin Abasi, you know, from Animals as Leaders last year, and he's a fucking amazing guitar player, 8 strings, and just like going to town. And I started following him on Instagram, and then that's a rabbit hole of all these players, you know, these 8-string dudes, and this new sound, and the way these guys are doing this stuff is incredible, you know. Like it's like I don't think of music like that. I don't write music like that, and it's fascinating to me, and I love seeing it, and it's inspiring too, because it's like, god damn, they like are making this groove, doing such intricate, you know, and it's like, it's just wild to me, and it's fun. Like, it sounds killer. So that's the beautiful thing about like the guitar, social media guitar world, you know, in general, like all the Instagram guitar players and TikTok guitar players. I love seeing them all, because some of these guys, and I'm not a content guy, you know, I don't put up guitar playing online, and I don't know why. That's just never been something that like I find that I feel like I need to do, but I love watching it. And it's very inspiring.
Okay, so one of the bands that is doing, I think, really good guitar work is Dragon Force. But sometimes it's for me a bit too much. You know them?
No, wait, say the name again. Brendan Falls?
Dragon Force.
Dragon Force. Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, no, they're amazing. Are you kidding? Like Herman Lee and I forget the other guy. No, it's incredible. It's not. Yeah, I don't approach guitar that way, and like there is like this whole shreddy style that I think is amazing, and I think it's amazing because I can't do it, and I just don't think of guitar like that, you know. And like my favorite 2 records right now are the newest Mastodon and the Ghost album, you know, with Frederick on guitar on the Ghost records, fucking deadly. And you know, Mastodon, I can't get enough of that. I still can't get enough of it. And Brent, like totally, you know, he's got the weirdest style, because he goes into like this very soulful, these big notes and these bends and this beautiful, almost like Gilmore-y things, and always turns left field, and you know, just busts out this line that comes out of who knows where, and I think it's brilliant. I love it.
Cool. Okay. There's lots of good players in the world, I think.
Oh man, so there's and what a time to be alive, because you can tap into so many of them and watch them at any time, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And I have back to a question a bit more to you. If you were allowed to invite any guests still alive or already deceased to an extended dinner, who would it be?
Oh man. Oh, so I'd just go with my heroes. I'd have Tom Petty and Jeff Buckley and Jimmy Page, and let's get Stevie Ray Vaughan in there, and then I want some of the, you know, I'd have some of the guys I was already talking about, like some of these new guys, Jared James and Tyler Bryant and Marcus King and Chris, and why not bring, you know, who's great conversation, Tobias from Ghost. That kid is brilliant. I love talking with him every time we hang out. He's such a brilliant, like, he just loves the music so much and is so tuned in. We were talking about last time he stopped by Nick's studio when we were working on something, and we ended up talking about the reverb on the snare drum that was happening in like 1987 and how that started and lasted, how many years that verb lasted, you know, like total geek shit. And I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to geek out on guitars and the gear. Sorry.
The sheets are on the floor.
Oh, you can leave them there. It's fine. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Okay,
yeah,
it would be...
the idea being, just to wrap that up, the idea, I just want to geek out on guitars and guitar playing concepts and gear. It's my favorite thing. Guitar gear and photo gear. Let's just geek.
Cool. Okay. I think would be a nice party this evening.
Oh yeah,
with all these guys. Yeah. You talked about guitars. What is your what kind of guitar do you like? Is there any brand in special or kind of guitar?
Right now I'm fully in this like Gibson SG thing. I don't know what it is. I just started like last year. My first guitar in HALESTORM was a Gibson SG, and I kind of like, I played it forever, and I kind of started getting a bunch of other guitars, and like once we started making money playing music, you know, I wanted a great Strat, I want a great Tele, I want a great Les Paul, I need a great 335, you know, like I gotta try out all of them and experience all of them, and I still have great versions of multiple versions. You know, I have like 50 or 60 guitars at home, and I love every single one of them. Like they're all just special to me. But lately, I mean, I've got Gibson is my thing. You know, I love the Gibsons. I know their pickups. I know the sound, and I've got a bunch of really special ones that sound amazing. But I think I've got like, I don't even know how many SGs I have now, but I'm bringing them all out on tour, and I just got an Explorer. Lizzie is Miss Explorer. It's all her signature models are Explorer with Gibson. But I found one that's so cool. This green, because I was looking up green Explorer because I love green guitars for some reason. And Gibson put one out in their mod shop like 2 months ago, and I was like, Lizzie, you're the Explorer player. Do you want this? She's like, no, I'm not going to get it. And I was like, no, I'm getting it. And it's such a ripper. It's a big fat neck, and it's just awesome. But yeah, it's Gibsons. I'm a Gibson guy, and
Gibson guy.
Sticking with it. To me, there's three shapes of hard rock. You know, the SG, the Explorer, and the Flying V. Those are the shapes of hard rock and roll and metal. And so I've been just geeking on those, getting Vs and Explorers and SGs, and stick with the classics.
Cool. Okay. If something that was very impressive for me, again, because it's not your first album that impressed me, is your music is offering an incredible range and a lot of references to different genres. I think there are maybe songs that could also be metalcore songs. You have the Blades. Where does this musical diversity come from?
We truly, love, I mean, just mute, like, I love any music that I feel something from, you know? And like I would say my favorite albums of all time, if I had to pick two, would be Tom Petty Wildflowers and Jeff Buckley Grace, like without a doubt, because it's like, one, Wildflowers never, there's like so much wisdom in that record. It just doesn't get old to me. Every time I hear it, it's sonically outstanding, and his lyrics in that is just, it's wisdom, you know, and there's always something new that is like reveals itself to me when I listen. And same with that Jeff Buckley record. That was the album I learned about, you know, emotion in music, and how you can play a set of chords, or you can play something or record something, and you can make people's hair stand. You can physically affect somebody sonically, you know, and you can just get, you know, you can get them. And that's always been a goal since then, is to make the kind of moments that just bend your mind, you know. And luckily I'm in a band with Lizzie, because she's so talented and so good that that we can try to make those moments, and sometimes even pull them off, you know. But we really listen to a lot of different music around here, and you know, it all sinks in. I love jazz and blues, and I love having jazz on in the background, especially some good old shit, live shit, where they're really improvising a lot, you know, like that's just golden to me, you know.
Cool.
So somehow that all sinks in somewhere, and you know, and I love metal too, and that sinks in. And you know, like right now, man, Gojira, Mastodon, and Ghost are like my go-to albums. And you know, we're just in a heavy moment here, and I love it.
So if I listen to you, I think there's a very interesting life you're living. But if you imagine that today, with the last day of your life, is there anything you would regret never having done?
I have no regrets. You know, we've had so many of our dreams come true. Like I met Lizzie 20 years ago, and she was the first person I ever met that kind of had the same idea as I had, which was, you know, we could make a living playing music. You know, we don't need to work regular jobs. Like, and we did, like, we sat down, and I just found the notebook. We sat there, and in a 50-mile radius of where we were standing, like, wrote down every bar name and called every one of them, crossed it out if they didn't have live music. And if they did, we'd go in and meet them and give them a demo tape. And within like 2 weeks, we were playing 5 or 6 nights a week, you know, and like just making a living playing music, because we decided that that's what we wanted to do. And there were 4-hour acoustic shows, just her and I, you know, entertaining the whole night. And we get $75, and we'd be like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. You know, I was making rent, you know, playing music, and you know, trying to make moments, you know, how do you make the crowd cheer? Let's just do that. Every time we play a song, have a moment there where people cheer. And that's just, the goal hasn't really changed. It's just the game has changed. We're not going into every show being like, this is who we are, look at us. It's more like, we deserve to be here, and this is why, you know. And that's kind of the name of the game now. But I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't, you know, the hits and misses that we've had along the way are all learning experiences on both sides. And I love our journey, and I love where it's taken us. And I don't think I wouldn't change anything. And you know, I'm just happy to be here.
Cool. So last but not least, is there anything you would like to share now with your fans here in Europe?
Yeah, we're coming back. We'll be there in November, December, and the tour announcement is next week. So I won't spill the cookies yet, but we'll be back in November, December finally. And I've missed it so much. Yeah, like Europe it's just one of my favorite places in the world. Like, as soon as the bus stops, I'm out, and like I go hiking, like urban hiking, walk the cities, and just look for, you know, take pictures and hang out, drink beers, and have a good time, as good of a time as I can with everybody that I meet. And I miss it over there so much. So I cannot wait.
Okay, so we will be very happy if Hailstorm comes back to Europe, playing
Yes.
good shows. I hope it will be as soon as possible. So, Joe, thanks for the interview.
Thank you, Danny.
I wish you and your band and your new album lots of success, and hope we see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
See you.